Good morning on this mild-ish morning, where it's currently 88 degrees at 7:15 in the morning. And there's Bailey right there. I'm actually heading out in just a minute here for an appointment and then a power meeting with my friend Dan. Actually, I don't know how much power is really involved in that. We're just gonna hang out. By the way, for those of you who pointed out my chairs last time, yes, they're facing the wall because I'm doing some work around the yard here, and that's where they're there. It looks like I have some sort of a weird punishment for someone who's gonna be facing the wall. That's not what it is. I just stopped the camera and said, you know, I bet I have some stray hairs on me that I missed. And guess what I did? I was online this morning, scrolling the news. These news headlines are getting more and more clickbaity every time. So the new one now is what they do is they associate someone with something else. Like, I'm making this up, but they might say, Back to the Future star, dead at 81, and it was some guy in the background who didn't have speaking parts. I saw one the other day, it said like, singer who influenced Mick Jagger, dead. I was like, Mick Jagger's dead? I fall for it. I fall for it every time, and I hate that I fall for it, but I fall for it. But I've got a dermatology appointment, and if I don't leave in a few minutes here, I'm gonna be late for it, so I guess I better leave for it. And it's kind of across town in traffic. That should be fun. I guess I'll do that. But after my appointment, I'm going to do a very quick taste test before I see my friend Dan. So let's head out and see what happens next. Dermatology procedure, check. So I had this little spot removed on my neck because it would rub against my collar, itchy. So I thought, you know, I'll just get it taken off. So the dermatologist appointment by itself was one fee, but the fee to have that removed was $117. And I counted. The machine that was used to freeze it, there was 6 zaps. 6 zaps for $117 is almost $20 per zap. I think I got into the wrong line of business here. 20 bucks per zap? Sign me up. Not as a person who's paying for it, but a person who's charging for it. You know, these glasses I reviewed a while ago. I've been using them, but they always look crooked no matter how I adjust them. They're always crooked. In my 1-year update, I'm gonna have to mention that. But anyways, before I go see my friend Dan, I'm gonna do. This is my sub-series of Liquid Death taste test. Today I've got Dead Billionaire. This is a tea lemonade agave. What's this? Tea lemonade agave vitamins. I bought a whole bunch of Liquid Deaths in my cabinet. I'm just randomly grabbing them, so they may not be in any kind of order. So I'm doing tea. I guess it's a tea today. My notes on this is, it's a non-carbonated half iced tea, half lemonade drink. They say it's basically a lower sugar take on an Arnold Palmer. The 12-ounce can has 20 calories. This is a 19.2 fluid ounce can, 568 milliliters, and it is 30 calories. It has 1.7 milligrams of B6, 2.4 micrograms of B12. I have no idea if that means anything. Microdose of natural caffeine, 30 milligrams per can. Now the ingredient says water is first, agave nectar second, black tea is third. Why is the agave nectar before the black tea? I don't know about that. Now I gotta say, I'm a big tea drinker. If you go back over the last 20 years, everything I've drank, black tea would be probably the number one thing I've drank over the last 20 years. And of all the teas I've drank, it's like 80% black tea, 15% green tea, and 5% everything else. So I love black tea. If you say it with a southern accent, it actually adds a little extra flavor to it. Speaking of flavor, how's the flavor for this? Let's try right now. Now see, before I try that, I hope it doesn't taste like instant tea. I know some people like instant tea, and I'm not hating on people for liking instant tea. I don't like instant tea. It tastes like fake, bad, sweet, abomination version of tea. In my opinion, no hate to those who like it. Here we go. Watery, lemon. My neck is starting to hurt. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't dislike it, but it does kind of taste a little bit like fake tea. I get more of the lemonade. It tastes more lemon than tea to me. Let me see, what's the rest of the ingredients here? Lemon juice concentrate, citric acid, natural flavor, stevia leaf extract. Why is that in everything, man? Get it out of here, you stevia junkies. It's weird. It's like in between like instant tea and regular tea, but then you have that lemonade on top of it, and the agave nectar, and the stevia. Going back to my notes here, I did make some notes of what people were saying about it. Some people say it's refreshing, tastes like tea, has just enough sweetness without becoming sugary. I would agree with that. It's not too sugary, which that's a bad thing. It's a bit watery, but sometimes you want water. Some people say it's their best flavor. I disagree. People didn't like it. Some people said it's watered down or lightly flavored. I agree with that too. It's kind of funny how people who like it said it's not too sugary. The people who don't like it say it's watery, which both apply. Some people say it's basically canned tea and lemonade. It's weird. The pros and cons all apply. Anyways, I'm glad I tried it. I might finish it. I don't know. I don't hate it, but I won't buy it again. Anyways, I'm off to the Rampart to see my friend Dan. That's next. It's time for the latest freaking 2 taste test. I got 4 things on the menu right now. A peanut butter chocolate protein drink, some banana bread protein bars, and a couple of chips made by an oil company, so to speak. Where to start here? I think I'm gonna go in reverse order from what I usually do. Usually I do my drinks last, but sometimes I'm dying of thirst by that time. So I'm gonna try the drink first and then we'll work my way down from there. So we'll get out of here with this. Get out of here. You two, get out of here. So first up is the Spylt Peanut Butter Chocolate Protein Drink. Now this came out around early 2025. They say it's essentially a peanut butter cup flavored chocolate milk. It also functions as a protein shake. This can has 90 calories, 20 grams of protein, and it has the word freaking right on the can itself. It says it's freaking delicious. It also has 60 milligrams of caffeine. Now they say it's made with lactose-free ultra-filtered skim milk and sweetened with asulfam potassium and sucralose. What I found interesting is that I didn't see peanut butter listed in the ingredients. What's up with that? I was looking at some user comments online. People were saying it tastes pretty good, like a Reese's peanut butter cup. They say it's creamy, strong chocolate flavor, and little to no aftertaste, which is always important. Some people said it was too thick, and they didn't like the thick consistency, and the sweeteners were not great, and some people said it was too expensive. But I'm not even that close to it. I already smell peanut butter. It smells like peanut butter. Now the color is almost a pinkish hue to it. It's pinkish. Not what I expected visually. That doesn't mean anything though. So let's give this a shot here. Here we go. The Spylt Caffeinated Peanut Butter Chocolate 20-gram Protein Drink. My first impression is it's not as thick as people were saying online. What I'm first getting is there's a really strong peanutty aftertaste, which I wasn't expecting. Not an artificial aftertaste, more of a peanut aftertaste. Here we go. It reminds me of a Yoo-hoo, and then the peanuts come after the fact. It's like they're separate flavors. First you got Yoo-hoo, then it's like I follow up with a mouthful of peanuts. But as far as a protein drink goes, that's pretty good. I wouldn't say Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. It's a Yoo-hoo, and then you follow it up with peanuts. I'm gonna keep saying that until I believe it, until you believe it. That's pretty good. All right, my son Brandon and I were talking about this. I told Brandon to hold off until buying this until I try it. Well, Brandon, you should look for it. I think you'll definitely like these. Very chocolatey with some nice peanut flavor. Even though it doesn't list peanuts in the ingredients, it tastes quite good. So we're off to a good start. Good job, Spylt. Let's stay in the sweet category here now with Barebells Protein Bar Banana Bread. This came out only in May of 2026. They're designed to taste like chocolate chip banana bread with a banana flavored center made with real freeze-dried banana, plus peanuts, cocoa nibs, cinnamon, and a milk chocolate coating. Each bar has 220 calories, 20 grams of protein, just like the drink, no added sugar, which doesn't mean unsweetened, it means no added sugar. 3 grams of fiber, 6 grams of sugar alcohol. They say it's sweetened mainly with maltitol and a small amount of sucralose. Now from what I can tell, consumer reactions are kind of divided on this. The people who like it, they say it tastes like banana bread and has a candy-like texture to it. They say it's not chalky like a lot of protein bars. Now other people say the banana's too subtle and the peanut and chocolate overpowers it. Some people say it's too dry or chewy or too sweet. Or too expensive. Now it just so happens that J.C. Klein's specialty is chocolate chip banana bread. I happen to have some here. So I'm gonna grab a piece of that and we'll compare the two of them as well. Let's open this up here. Is something missing? I feel like I just got chinched out on some topping there. What is up with that? That can't be right. But let me reach over here. Now on the side over here, I have, just so happens I have a slice of chocolate chip banana bread. Let's compare the two of these side by side since that's what this is supposed to be. I've been munching on this banana bread for days, so I have a pretty good idea what it's gonna taste like. Here we go. Banana, some chocolate flavor in there. Let's taste the real thing now. Once again, I can see how both the critics and the fans are both kind of right. The banana is kind of subtle. It is a bit chewy, but the cons don't bother me. The fact that the banana is subtle doesn't bother me. It's still there. The fact that it's a bit chewy doesn't bother me. It's still there. It's not chalky tasting. There is no strong negative aftertaste. I wouldn't say the flavor is just like real banana bread, but it's in the ballpark. Thank you, J.C. Klein Banana Bread, for your service. So I think it's pretty good. I actually like it. I've eaten far too many protein bars over the years. Most of them have a horrific aftertaste, bad texture. This is none of those things. So I think they did a good job with this one. If you're a fan of chocolate chip banana bread, I certainly think these are worth a shot. If you're big on protein bars, this is also worth a shot. Yeah, they're kind of expensive. And I'm not really fond of what happened here. That does not seem like it was on purpose. All those things aside though, I would say I'd give this positive marks. Let me combine these two now. That's gotta be a good combination, right? The Spylt and the Barebells. That would be pretty good. I got two more things to try here. This is the Graza. I don't know. I'm assuming it's Graza. Graza chips. This is made by the same company that makes the olive oil. Now these came out in 2024 originally, and they sold out so fast they had to bring them back in May of 2026. So they're kind of new on this relaunch of it. I think there's other flavors. These are only two I found, so hopefully this isn't incomplete. They're supposedly made with yellow flesh potatoes cooked entirely in Graza extra virgin olive oil. I have the classic sea salt and the sea salt and vinegar. The classic sea salt is just 3 ingredients: potatoes, extra virgin olive oil, and sea salt. A 1 ounce serving has 150 calories. Reviewers I read online, they like the light, crisp texture, prominent potato flavor, and subtle taste of olive oil. The only real complaint I saw about these is some people said that the seasoning was a bit restrained. The sea salt and vinegar, similarly, has 140 calories. It uses seasoning made with real red wine vinegar, which gives it a slightly more sophisticated flavor than standard white vinegar chips. People who liked it said it was tangy, crisp, well balanced, not acidic. Some people said it wasn't vinegary enough, and that it's too expensive because each one of these bags was $6 a piece. Let's try the classic sea salt first. Smells like potato chips. It looks pretty standard fare. I don't see anything there worth writing home about. It would be weird if you wrote home about a potato chip, but I don't see anything worth writing home about anyways. Much saltier than I expected. That's a salt fest. I feel assaulted. That might be the saltiest potato chip I ever ate in my entire life. I feel like I need a detox after that one chip. That's salty. The flavor was good. It was almost like kettle chip texture. Very thick. Not as salty. That first one was overpowering salt, but the next one wasn't so bad. The olive oil is very subtle. It's way back there. It's a pretty standard chip. It tastes more like I've actually made homemade chips with olive oil that taste a little bit more like that than standard bag chips. In fact, if I really wanted some olive oil flavored chips, I could probably make them cheaper than this bag is. This bag was $6, that's a lot. On the other hand, I kind of like them. Although I would say the olive oil is almost too subtle to even make it a selling point. It's really mild. Good chips, but I think the marketing may have missed the mark because the olive oil is a secondary flavor. Salt. Wow, that last chip was just as salty as the first one. Wow. Woo. Now this is sea salt and vinegar. All right, I smell vinegar, that's a good sign. The chip itself, once again, relatively benign looking. These are benign looking chips. Tangy. The vinegar's there. The vinegar is certainly, I don't think it's understated. The vinegar is there. It's weird, it seems like maybe it's just the bag I got, but these don't feel nearly as dense or as thick as the first one. These are much tangier. I think the flavor is more balanced. If I had to choose between these two, this one's coming on top for me. Although I think in both cases, the olive oil is almost barely even there. I know it's their brand, and they have to do it that way. But if you want that olive oil flavor, you know, you're gonna be your mind's searching for it. Your mind is searching. Let's try them both at the same time. We just diluted both of them. Diluted. Let me wash down the sea salt and vinegar with this peanut butter chocolate. That's not a good combination. That's not good. All right, let's take a little bit of everything. We'll take 2 chips, a bite of this bar, and we'll wash it down with some peanut butter chocolate. Man, I will say the protein bar is the one that kind of overpowered the rest. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was as bad as I expected. If I were to rank everything I just had here, I mean, they're all pretty good. I liked every one of them. Which ones would I buy again? I'd probably buy the Spylt. I would say the Spylt would be my favorite of the bunch, probably. I actually kind of like this Barebells. I would probably buy those again. If I ever wanted my banana bread fix and JC didn't make some, I'd probably buy that next. And then these two, I think they're certainly good. I just don't think the olive oil stands out quite as much. Of the two, this one is the better of the two. I've eaten enough for now, and I'm gonna be out of here, so I'm not sure what the rest of my day holds, but I ain't gonna be sitting here eating anything. And with that, let's get on to the rest of the vlog. It's 4 p.m., And after my last taste test, I crashed and burned. That's right, I fell asleep. I don't know if it was carbs or sugar or what happened. As soon as I turned the camera off, man, my eyelids, they weighed 100 pounds each. So I dragged myself out of bed and I was looking at recipe guide for the next video I'm doing for Freaking Reviews. It's a bad omen because I got annoyed as soon as I looked at the recipe guide. And you shouldn't get annoyed by a recipe guide, but I was annoyed by it. So I'm off to the store to get a few recipes for tomorrow's filming. Actually, I gotta do it tonight. I have to set these up tonight. I don't even feel like it because you have to let them sit in the fridge for 24 or the freezer for 24 hours. I don't even know if I have any taste tests planned tomorrow. I don't even know if I have anything left. I'm delirious right now. What am I doing? Where am I going? All I know is I woke up from a nap and I felt like I was in a different century. Then I read the recipe guide and realized I have more work to do tonight, which I didn't feel like doing. Maybe the store will wake me up. Maybe I'll feel more like doing this. Maybe I'm just lying to myself. We shall see. Well, my filming for Freaking Reviews is over for the day. Now my mustache smells like Nutella, so it means I gotta take a shower. That's the reason I take bites so gingerly, because when I get that stuff in my mustache, man, it doesn't go away. But I was gonna take a walk, but I came out here and realized how hot it is. I was like, nope. I take a walk in this heat, man, I'll be wiped out the rest of the night. And I got stuff I wanna do still. But I think I filmed enough for today. But this is gonna be a 2-day vlog. I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow vlog-wise. I don't even know if I have anything really to taste or to do, but I'll figure out something because I can't start a 2-day vlog and then have nothing to do on day 2. Right now I gotta go clean up the kitchen because I made a big old mess. This day is over, but this vlog is not. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Well, that 12 hours went by fast, didn't it? Tuesday morning at 7:25 a.m. 89 degrees. We're in the 80s. It's chilly out here. I just had my palm trees trimmed this morning, and the dogs don't like that. They don't like anybody out here messing around. But it looks nice, at least. It looks like when you send your kid to get a haircut and they come home all nice and clean looking. There's a nice attractive looking palm tree. But on today's agenda, I don't know if I have any taste tests planned, but I do have some Freaking Reviews tests to do, and that's about it right now. I hate when I start a list and I realize there's not much on that list. Today I have Freaking Reviews, and that's it. So I had a list of one thing. It seemed longer in my mind, but it was one thing. That's all I have planned at the moment, but I'm sure I'll get up to more. What will it be? We shall see. I just have a fun question for you. So if you're in these two groups, don't take offense, but is it something that's unique to millennials and Gen Zs to A, never empty the lint traps on a dryer, and B, to open the microwave with 1 second left and leave that 1 second on there for the next person? It seems like those experiences I've had with people of those generations, not so much mine. Maybe I'm just biased to myself. So let me know if that's been your experience. Not that I mind, but it's just something I've observed. I once had my dryer was on the fritz, and this like Russian dryer repairman showed up. Before he showed up, I was having to run multiple cycles. So I wasn't emptying the lint trap after every cycle because it was just running so much. So he opens up the lint trap and he looks at it, and he looks at me like a disappointed father, like I had broken his heart by not emptying the lint trap every single time. He was just like, this lint trap. I was like, man, you're gonna give me that guilt trip for not emptying my lint trap or a broken dryer? Get out of here. The fact that I still remember that years later says something. I don't know what it says, but it says something. Anyways, I was gonna say I have a lot to do. I don't, but I have a long day ahead of me and I want to get started with it. So I'll get back to you a little bit later. Right, Bailey? Right, Bailey? Well, I'm kind of caught up in my work for right now. I have some more to do later, and I don't feel like doing it right now. I feel like getting out of the house and just getting some of this nice, fresh, deserty, dusty air in my lungs, and hopefully a taste test. I checked online, and I don't know about you guys, but these grocery store websites are kind of janky. There's a Vons over here. They'll say they have it in stock, never do. They never do. At least the Smiths over here will say what aisle it's in. If they have an aisle listed, you have to believe it's probably in stock. There's an Albertsons over here, they say it's in stock, but half the time it's not either. Sometimes what I do is I go on DoorDash and I look for the product there, because if they show it, it usually is in stock. It's kind of sad when DoorDash is more accurate than the actual company's website. But my rant is a digression. I'm gonna pop into this Albertsons and see if I can find it. And if they have it, I'm trying it right now. That's right. But I am on a quest. I'm on a quest for buns. As expected, it wasn't there. Smith supposedly has it, but on the good side, I did find another thing I wanted to try out that I haven't seen anywhere else. I guess silver lining, but I'm off to Smith's where they said aisle 6 on their website. I'm going to aisle 6. It better be there. If not, I'm throwing down. That's right. I'm gonna cause. No, I won't. I won't do anything. But I'm hoping it's there. Smith's, you better come through in the clutch. Aisle 6, huh, Smith's? Aisle 6, huh, Smith's? Guess what? It wasn't an aisle 6. What I was looking for are the Cinnamon Bun Oreos. And there was a place for it on the shelf, but guess what was in its place? BTS Oreos. That's not the same thing, Smiths. You can't just bait and switch me like that. You're lucky I was in a good mood. I would have called the manager and given him a piece of my mind. So I was undeterred. I was not going to leave that Smiths without something to try, because this is a taste test day. I'm taste testing them, and they're lucky I didn't tell them that too. I would have given them a freaking 2 smackdown. That's right. But I did find something interesting. So I found something at Smiths that I never knew existed, and found some at Albertsons that I did know existed. All right, here are my finds for the day. So I was looking for one thing, I didn't find that, but I got 2 new finds. So I guess maybe I'm kind of out ahead. And these glasses still look crooked no matter what I do. You have to excuse it. Like I don't know. Anyways, my finds are ICEE Cherry Cola No Cap Soda Pop and Celsius Summer Edition Spritz Vibe. They both came out in 2026. The Celsius I've been looking for. I just found it, so let me try that one first. This one has 0 sugar, no artificial colors, 7 essential vitamins. It's health food, and I think it has 10 calories and 200 big ones as far as milligrams of caffeine goes. It's supposed to be citrusy. Let's see. There's kind of a faint citrus smell to it. Here we go. Crisp. Kind of has like almost a hint of lemonade to it. Is it supposed to be lemonade? Oh, there's lemons on the... Hey, I was right. There's lemons pasted all over it and I didn't notice. It tastes like kind of like lemonade. I was so flustered by the cinnamon bun that I didn't even look at the can. The can's just pasted with lemons everywhere. And I'm glad I didn't notice because my taste buds are accurate. Lemonade. I like that. It's refreshing. It's crisp. It's not too sweet. There's really not much of an aftertaste to it. I think they did a good job with this one. Now, some people are saying that it's kind of flat, which, lemonade doesn't need to be carbonated. So, I mean, I think it's fine as far as that goes. Now, my problem is if I drink a lot of citric acid or lemon, I'll get like canker sores all over my mouth. So I gotta be careful. But as far as a one-off thing goes, I quite enjoy this. It's delish. It's one of the better Celsius flavors I probably had, actually. So, good job, Celsius. All right, this next one I'm really curious about because I've never heard of it before. I know nothing about it. I've never heard of it. I know nothing. All I know is that I did a quick lookup just now. It supposedly came out in 2026. It's Icee No Cap collab to bring the flavor of ICEE to a soda. That's all I know. On the can it says 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 caffeine. Hopefully there's not 0 taste. There's not a ton of ingredients on the back here, which I guess is a good thing. It's interesting. One of the ingredients is fruit and vegetable juice. That's interesting. Here we go. Okay, now the first thing I smell is kind of that artificial, almost energy drink. Like it's just teeming with artificial flavors. Let's see how it tastes though. All right. I can tell you I'm not a fan of whatever sweeteners they're using in here. It just overpowers absolutely everything. It's like a bulldozer. If you had a giant bulldozer made of stevia leaf extract and just bulldozed over a bunch of ICEEs, that's what this tastes like. The first thing I taste is unpleasant artificial flavor, and then after that fades a little bit, because it does linger like a friend you can't get rid of. But once it fades a little bit, you do get a little bit of that cherry. Does it taste like an ICEE? I don't know about that. Man, between these two, this one is so pleasant, and this one is I just think they missed the mark on this one. Man, no. It's disappointing. I'm disappointed. It's funny. I did an ICEE maker a couple years back, and I was very disappointed in that too. What is it with ICEE and these bad collabs? ICEE, just forget the third parties and do it yourself. This is not great. I gotta call it like I see it. I gotta call it like I taste it. I'm also a little bit salty from my experience in Smith's to begin with. But I'm sorry, ICEE, you missed the mark once again. Stop bringing all these third party companies in there and do it yourself. The artificial sweetener ruined this. Nah, it's all right. I mean, I can probably drink it, but I would never buy it again. This, on the other hand, I will drink it, and I probably will buy it again. See, I'm calm. When I get calm when I have this, and I'm angry when I have this. Calm. Let's stick to Celsius. And I'm gonna go back home and have the rest of my day. I've been up, you know, it's 12:30. I feel like it's bedtime already. I've had a long day. I've been up since 4:30, so my day is pretty much over. Calm. Thanks for sticking around for this last minute taste test. I actually quite enjoyed it. At least I got one I liked out of the two. Maybe the Cinnamon Bun Oreos will be for the next video, but for now, I think my taste tests are over. You know, the way my day ended was kind of ridiculous though. So I came home and edited for a while, which that's not ridiculous. And then I had to set up 2 more containers of ice cream to blend tomorrow. And one of them took so offensively long to set up. I'm out of words to describe how offensively long it took to create a half pint of ice cream. And then while I'm sitting there creating this offensively long half pint of ice cream, I get the most aggressive mosquito that has ever existed, at least in my life. This mosquito, I kid you not, you think I'm lying. This mosquito was dive bombing me. It was coming at me from up above and like I was ducking, it would fly over me. So I had to like get all bundled up in like Antarctic gear so I could finish preparing this ice cream. And then finally it landed by the sink and I got it with some Windex. With those 2 things in mind and all the other stuff that's happened, that's probably enough. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me for the last 2 days and joining me for this crazy journey. Stick around this weekend for the ice cream maker and you'll kind of have some behind the scenes information about what happened there. I'll mention it, but I won't rant about it. But that's all I've got. I appreciate you guys watching and I'll see you next time.